You know that feeling when you discover an incredible game that somehow nobody bought when it first came out? Well, stay with me, because we're diving into the tragic yet fascinating world of commercial failures that history has vindicated as absolute masterpieces. These games prove that sometimes the market gets it spectacularly wrong, and the real winners are the patient gamers who discovered these gems years later. Spec Ops the Line bombed so hard that even its publisher called it a financial flop, despite 5 years of brutal development hell. You're Captain Walker, leading a Delta Force squad into a sand-buried Dubai after a mysterious distress call. At first, it feels like every other cover shooter until the game starts questioning every trigger you pull. The more you fight, the more the city and your own psyche falls apart. By the final hour, you'll wonder if you're still the hero or the real villain. Gameplay is tight and familiar. Assault rifles, grenades, squad commands, but that's the trap. Each firefight pushes you closer to unthinkable choices, climaxing in the infamous white phosphorus scene that leaves most players stunned into silence. Sandstorms change battlefields on the fly, forcing you to improvise or get buried alive. Visually, the contrast is striking. Gold-plated skyscrapers swallowed by oceans of shifting sand. The soundtrack flips from pounding rock to eerie silence, amplifying every moral gut punch. Nolan North's voice work sells Walker's descent from confident commander to broken shell. So why did it flop? Launching amid Call of Duty and Battlefield giants, 2K marketed it as just another shooter, completely missing its anti-war hook. Result: strong reviews, weak sales, and no sequel. Today, critics hail it as gaming's Apocalypse Now, a rare shooter that uses interactivity to confront the player's own appetite for digital war. Grab it on modern storefronts. The 6-hour campaign still hits like a sand-filled gut punch. Ready to question your trigger finger? Drop a comment and tell us, did Spec Ops make you rethink war games? Beyond Good and Evil should have been Ubisoft's next mega franchise, yet hardly anyone bought it at launch. Picture this: you're Jade, a broke photojournalist on the war-torn planet Hillies. Instead of an assault rifle, your main weapon is a camera. Snap proof of alien kidnappings, sell the shots for cash, then expose the government cover-up on pirate radio. That loop of stealth, platforming, combat, and photography keeps you switching gears every few minutes, so boredom never sets in. The world looks like a watercolor brought to life, with hovering scooters, pig mechanics, and orphaned kids hiding in a lighthouse. Even 2 decades later, the cel-shaded art pops off the screen. A melodic, pan-cultural soundtrack sells the sense of a living, breathing colony on the edge of invasion. What truly makes the game special is how every mechanic feeds the story. Photographing wildlife funds your rebellion. Racing hovercrafts wins spare parts you need to stay afloat. You feel like a journalist first, hero second, a rare perspective in gaming. So why did it flop? Ubisoft launched it the same holiday season as Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell, and marketing money followed the bigger brands. Result: glowing reviews, terrible sales, and a sequel trapped in development hell ever since. Give this cult classic a shot on the 20th anniversary edition. It finally runs at 60 FPS and autosaves, so you can binge the whole 9-hour story in a weekend. Mirror's Edge arrived in 2008 and looked nothing like other shooters. You play Faith, a rooftop courier called a runner. The camera stays in first person, so every sprint, wall run, and leap feels personal. Movement is everything. Hold the trigger to build speed, slide under pipes, vault fences, then chain a wall run into a boost jump. Keep the flow, and Faith outruns bullets. Miss a beat and you stumble, giving enemies time to lock on. Gunplay exists, but the safest tactic is often to dodge, not fight. The art direction is stark white with bursts of red that guide your eyes. This minimalist look still feels futuristic today. A pulsing electronic soundtrack matches your heartbeat, helping you time jumps. Critics praise the fresh design, But sales told another story. Electronic Arts admitted the game fell below expectations, grouping it with other creative experiments that underperformed. Independent analysis estimates just 1.7 to 2 million copies sold in the first 2 years. For a AAA budget, that was a stumble. Fans, however, never stopped running. Speedrunners cracked the movement wide open, and developers cite Mirror's Edge as a milestone for first-person traversal. A sequel landed in 2016, yet many still favor the tight 6-hour original. If dashing across skyscraper roofs sounds thrilling, grab the remastered edition. Finish the story one evening, then chase time trial ghosts until you master the perfect flow. Sleeping Dogs launched in 2012, aiming to be Square Enix's answer to Grand Theft Auto. Reviews were glowing, yet sales missed the publisher's lofty targets. You play Wei Shen, an undercover cop infiltrating Hong Kong's Sun On Yee triad. Missions bounce between explosive shootouts, high-speed chases, and brutal hand-to-hand brawls. The melee system steals the show. Mix Batman-style counters with environmental takedowns, slam thugs into fish tanks, phone booths, even sizzling woks. Guns exist, but fists feel faster and earn more triad respect. The city itself is the star. Neon markets buzz with vendors shouting in Cantonese. Rain-soaked alleys glow under paper lanterns, and karaoke bars beg for late-night detours. Side activities keep the pace light. Street races, cockfights, and dim sum dates balance the gritty main plot. Progression splits into 3 paths: cop, triad, and face. Arrest suspects cleanly to gain police gadgets, fight dirty for triad perks, help civilians for social bonuses like cheaper food that buffs combat. Layered rewards make every choice feel meaningful. So why did it flop? Square Enix forecast 2.5 million copies, but shipped barely half that by year's end, blaming a slump in North American sales. United Front Games never recovered. Plans for a sequel and an MMO spin-off were shelved. Today, the definitive edition runs at 60 frames per second and bundles all story DLC about 30 hours of content. If you crave an open-world crime saga with true martial arts flair, give Wei Shen a chance and discover the masterpiece that corporate spreadsheets wrote off too soon. System Shock 2 launched in 1999. It sold fewer than 60,000 copies, and its creator, Looking Glass Studios, closed soon after. Today, critics call it the blueprint for every modern immersive simulation. Picture this. You wake up alone on the starship Von Braun. Sirens wail. Hallways are empty. A distorted voice named Shodan crackles through the speakers, promising perfection. From the first step, fear and curiosity pull you forward. Gameplay blends role-playing depth, survival horror tension, and first-person shooting. Every cyber module you find lets you upgrade hacking skills, psychic powers, or classic gunplay. Because you choose the upgrades, every run feels personal and fresh. Audio logs scattered across the decks reveal the crew's downfall in their own words. While each tape plays, distant footsteps remind you you're never truly safe. Ammunition is scarce, so every bullet matters. Do you fire at that charging mutant? Or risk a desperate swing with your wrench? Even with late 90s graphics, the atmosphere still hits hard. Flickering lights, leaking pipes, and Shodan's metallic whisper keep your nerves on edge from start to finish. A full cooperative mode lets a friend join the panic in real time. So, why did it flop? Almost no marketing, steep computer requirements for the era, and limited store copies. Reviewers loved it, but most players discovered it years later through word of mouth. You can grab the modern, patched edition on digital stores today. It runs smoothly on any laptop and lasts about 12 hours, perfect for a weekend scarefest. Ready to challenge Shodan? Tell me in the comments.
Well done. I'm uploading some more modules.
Titanfall 2 launched in 2016 between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, so most players never even noticed it. Electronic Arts later admitted sales were lower than expected. You play as Jack Cooper, a rifleman who inherits a Vanguard-class Titan named BT-7274. Pilot and Titan form a buddy cop duo as you sprint, wall run, and double jump through a 6-hour campaign packed with set pieces. One moment you're swapping between past and present to fix a ruined factory, the next, you're sprinting across moving starship hulls in freefall. Every mission introduces a new twist, then drops it before it outstays its welcome. Movement is the star. Wall running flows into slides, then into a boost jump that sends you across entire arenas in seconds. When you call your Titan, the game flips from acrobatic parkour to heavyweight mech combat. Titans feel like walking tanks, yet controls stay tight and responsive. Multiplayer adds 6 Titan frames and a deep loadout system. Grapple hooks, hollow pilots, and cloaks let you chain angles your enemies never see coming. Despite critical raves, servers launched half empty because shooters were already crowded that holiday. So why should you play it now? The community keeps reviving the game with free weekends, and the campaign still ranks among the best single-player shooters ever made. It runs at 60 frames per second on modern hardware, with instant reload checkpoints that let you experiment without frustration. Grab it on sale, link up with BT, and discover the shooter masterpiece that slipped through the cracks. Okami flopped so hard that director Hideki Kamiya called its launch a huge failure, yet today it's hailed as a work of art. You're Amaterasu, the Shinto sun goddess reborn as a white wolf. Instead of guns or swords, your biggest weapon is a paintbrush. Pause the action, whip out the celestial brush, and draw a sun to make daylight, slice foes with a single stroke, or paint lily pads to cross rivers. Every brushstroke feels like pure magic. The visuals are jaw-dropping. Cel-shaded graphics mimic traditional Japanese sumi-e ink paintings. It's basically a playable ukiyo-e scroll, with cherry blossom petals swirling across the screen and temples glowing under moonlight. Factor in a classical Japanese soundtrack that mixes shakuhachi flutes and taiko drums, and you've got atmosphere for days. Okami isn't just pretty, it's deep. You'll restore cursed lands, solve Zelda-style dungeons, and even feed woodland creatures to earn karma. The pacing keeps you hooked, action, puzzle, exploration, repeat, so the 30-hour journey never drags. So why did it crash commercially? Capcom launched it at the tail end of the PlayStation 2's life, right as gamers were saving up for the PS3. Marketing was minimal, and the box art didn't showcase the brush gimmick. Result? Fewer than 300,000 units sold in Japan and North America combined during its first year. Fast forward, multiple HD re-releases have pushed lifetime sales past 3 million, proving that genuine artistry always finds its audience.
Now get in here and give me 20. From this day forward, you are...
Psychonauts should have been a smash hit, yet it barely shifted 100,000 copies in its first year. You play as Raz, a kid who sneaks into psychic summer camp to become the world's greatest mind explorer. Instead of bland levels, each stage is a person's brain. So one minute you're bouncing on neon disco floors, the next you're in a Godzilla parody stomping a paper city. Every ability, levitation, pyrokinesis, mind control doubles as both puzzle tool and combat power. Talk about gameplay variety. Art direction? Pure Saturday morning cartoon with Tim Burton twists, still gorgeous 2 decades later. The voice acting is stacked with pros who make even side characters shine. And that soundtrack? Jazzy, spooky, and catchy all at once. But why did it bomb? Publisher Majesco had zero marketing cash and launched it against big hitters like God of War. Retailers understocked it. Many gamers never even saw the box. Double Fine eventually bought back the rights, re-released digitally, and plot twist lifetime sales now top 3 million copies. Cult status unlocked. Grab the remastered edition so you get widescreen, achievements, and smoother controls. It's still a tight 10-hour ride, perfect for a weekend binge. Which Psychonauts level melted your brain the most?
shall live his nightmares. And those find yourselves on the path to becoming international secret agents.
Buenos días.
Grim Fandango released in 1998 and quickly became a cult classic, even though it sold fewer than 100,000 copies at launch. You play as Manny Calavera, a travel agent for souls in the land of the dead. His job is to sell tickets for the 4-year journey to eternal rest. When Manny uncovers a corruption scandal, he sets off on a film noir quest filled with skeletons, demons, and smooth jazz. Gameplay mixes classic point-and-click puzzles with 3-dimensional environments. You guide Manny to pick up items, combine them, and use them on the right objects. Most solutions follow dream logic, so observation and patience replace reflexes. The art style blends Mexican Dia de los Muertos folk art with 1940s noir. Bold colors, low-poly characters, and towering Art Deco buildings create a unique, timeless look. The soundtrack shifts from marimba to smoky nightclub trumpet, giving every scene its own mood. Why did it flop? LucasArts marketed it during the decline of graphic adventures. Games like Half-Life and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time dominated headlines, while retailers stocked only a few Grim Fandango boxes. Despite rave reviews, many players never saw it on store shelves. Today, critics rank it among the best stories in gaming history. A 2015 remaster adds widescreen, developer commentary, and modern controls, making the 12-hour journey smoother than ever. Ready to escort lost souls? Give the remaster a spin.
Underworld, the land of eternal rest, in 4 minutes instead of 4 years. But very few people qualify. Let's take a look at your...
Vampire. The Masquerade Bloodlines launched the same day as Half-Life 2 and got totally buried. You're a newly sired vampire, loose in 2004 Los Angeles. Pick a clan slick Toreador, monstrous Nosferatu, or chaotic Malkavian, and every choice rewires the game. Seduce cops, hack laptops, dominate minds, or just bare your fangs. Dialogue trees branch, quests splinter, endings diverge. No 2 playthroughs feel the same. Levels are pure, immersive sim gold. Sneak through a haunted hotel that still tops scariest in gaming lists. Infiltrate a blood, soaked rave. Negotiate with ancient vampire elders who'd rather backstab than bargain. First-person gunplay and third-person melee mix with RPG stats, giving you freedom to solve problems your way. Yet the game shipped half-finished. Bugs, memory leaks, and load time nightmares scared reviewers and buyers away. Activision reported barely 72,000 copies sold by year-end, forcing developer Troika Games to close its doors just 3 months later. Fans refused to let it die. Community patches fixed thousands of bugs, restored cut content, and even balanced combat. 2 decades on, critics call Bloodlines the ultimate cult RPG, praising its writing, atmosphere, and player agency. It's the vampire fantasy no AAA studio has dared to match. Grab the fan-patched PC version. It still looks dated but runs smooth at 60 FPS. The 25-hour campaign is perfect for a Halloween binge. Just remember, talking is often deadlier than fighting.
Great. Hope it was painful. Did you get my money back?
The next time you hear about an innovative game that flopped, maybe give it a chance. You might just discover your next favorite game hiding in the bargain bin of history. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip through gaming's most beautiful failures, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which of these games you think most deserved better. Your boy here loves hearing from fellow gaming archaeologists who appreciate the medium's hidden gems.